Okay, so today we're going to talk about uh, two different kinds of mouse, and well, technically it's a newer edition, the ergonomic mouse or mice, how you want to call it, and there's even this wireless mouse already that they have implemented, but not so recently, really. But the technology has somehow matured, but it comes with a price. Now, with the ergonomic mouse comes with functionality or how you would say helps your posture with your wrist, since especially if you're a long term user in the computer. So let's say you're a home base or an office worker, or maybe an office worker that would allow you to use your own mice or your own mouse. That would be better. But again, it's I think it's about preference already. But somehow you can tell the difference. Yes, when we don't really notice is that our arms tend to get stiff, especially our wrist, without noticing it. So that's why they have designed this ergonomic mouse. Is it really a gimmick, or does it really help with the functionality? Uh, so there's even this bigger mouse, smaller mouse. But so I opted to try this ergonomic mouse. I'm actually a left-handed, but since I was introduced using the mouse on my right, so technically I do have a left-handed mouse. Um, it's wireless, but our topic mainly is about because most of the people are right-handed, right? So we fall to this point here with regards to the form of our hands when we hold the mice, right? So technically, um, it causes pain without noticing it, especially if you hold the mouse and you are intensely using it. Whether you're gaming or whether you're doing a project. So technically, it does create a sore. They even have this armrest for the mouse, even for the keyboard as well. But the point being is that the position of our hands, of our arm, uh, can really affect uh, a long-term use of, or a long. It could have a long effect when it comes to strain in our arm or in our body, right? So if you can see my hands when I'm holding the ergonomic, it's like on a rest position, like how we shake our hands. It's positioned that way compared to the other ones when you are really like uh, putting your hands flat. We don't really put our hands flat, remember? When we're walking, it's around somewhere in the side normally, right? Now, as you can see, my arm again is positioned that way compared to the to ones when I'm holding the normal mouse. If you would see here, there, there. So it's not really a normal position, so to speak. If you think about it, we don't really position our arms that way. It's normally that way, right? There, see? We do tend to twist a little bit, but imagine if we are twisting it for a really long time, it could cause a sore without noticing it, especially when we put our arms a little bit lower to the desk or higher to the desk. You would feel the difference, right? So that's why this one here is mainly to to open some suggestions to how you would prefer your setup be. Although it is again by preference, but this is technically um, there's a guide for you to show you more options, or that there are other possibilities to better your setup, something like that. If it doesn't really bother you, then feel free to continue what you have already. Right. So moving on. People even use like this one here, our normal position. Even we hold our mouse entirely with our arms, with our fingers, right, or with our hands. Others would hold it like a claw. Like, let me show you this one here. If I have it here, let me see. Right. Well, technically, the claw part is like this one here. When we don't put our hands flat on it, the claw part is when we do like this. That is the claw, how you hold your mouse like a claw, right? So yeah, that's the point here. And by the way, the the weight matters with your setup, especially with your mouse. There are mouse that are quite light, not on the heavy side, but again, it's a preference thing again. So my ergonomic mouse is pretty light, very easy to move, very easy to handle. Whereas this mouse here, my wireless mouse, since it requires a battery, this kind of wireless mouse uses double A battery. So again, it adds weight. So your control may vary when it comes to your to your movement, right? So when it's heavier, when your hands is not used to it, it could create a little bit of stress. Yes, and technically without noticing it, of course, but you can feel it in the long term that you're using it, right? But there are wireless mouse that are pretty light. Um, I don't know how they do it, but I did before. What I did before when I had a mouse, a wireless mouse, I cannot DIY it. I remove the the weights because technically mouse has weights to maybe to counter to have a balance thing within it. But it did help removing it if you know what you're doing. If not, then don't do anything at all. You might just destroy it. Okay. So again, this point here is about educating us, our health when it comes to our hands, our wrist. Okay, so it does really matter if you have the mouse, a capability that adjusts the DPI, the quickness of your cursor mouse. So even if it's just a heavy side on it, when you adjust the DPI, it will just move way quicker than your average setup. So here, my ergonomic mouse doesn't have any DPI level. Right. If you can see around here, if I took the view here, let me see. One moment. Oops. Right there. I did rotate it there. I'm not sure if I showed it correctly on that side there, but yes, there it doesn't have a DPI compared to this mouse here, to this wireless mouse there. So it doesn't have a DPI level, although other ergonomic mouse may have those capabilities, but again, it's a preference things. It's a preference thing basically. So again, um, for me, I just swap them when it's necessary. Uh, comfort, comfort based thing on a daily basis because I am always in front of the computer, so constantly using the mouse as well. So looking for a very suitable mouse for our hands really matters, right? So But again, if you don't really mind this kind of these things, please continue with your setup, right? So this is just an eye opener thing. Why you have this sort of source uh, when you're just doing the very simple basic thing. So longevity, long time use takes effect in the long run, right? So I hope this helps. This is Alin TV, and yes, this is um, the difference between a regular mouse, normal mouse. Although this is a wireless mouse, but this wireless mouse has a battery, so it adds a little bit weight on it. This has a double A battery. Others have a rechargeable battery, so it may vary on your experience, right? But again, it's a preference thing, or ergonomic or not. If you think it won't be a hindrance to a long-term thing that you're doing now, then yeah, go ahead. So I hope this helps. Have a good day and yeah, peace.